Welcome to the Urban Cowgirl Show.
We're in my big arena that's cut in half with portable panels that have wheels on them. So we can push these portable panels against the perimeter vinyl fence and it'll be out of our way. But for today, we're gonna work very, very briefly with my heifers in this arena cut in half. And I am on my side saddle again. My last session in my east corridor near my creek bank was in side saddle as well. I just worked with Eve for 10 minutes. The heifers were on the other side of a panel. I had to deal with Eve's kind of innate fear, know your horse by the way, of little sounds and sights that are tend to come up in the creek bank. And I said, okay, when we start this video show, which is part 2, we're gonna come to this arena for now and cut it in half and work in a smaller area. Now, I've got my side saddle on because I'm trying to figure out what's causing my leg pain when I have it. And after my session yesterday in the East Corridor using my side saddle, although I didn't do much, I did investigate, keep tabs on my body, and it seemed to be doing good, and I recreated a link with Eve after a long time of not using the side saddle. Another thing I have on here, and if my camera person can zoom in on what I'm holding in my right hand, it is just a soft rope that I eventually want to use as a neck ring when I ride Eve. I don't want to have to use a bit. I don't want to have to use a side pull. Eve is such a well-dispositioned horse. If she knows what I want and I can keep her thinking and confident and not right-brained and underconfident and spooked, I think that Eve will do anything for me. And that's what I need. I need a horse that understands me, understands my mind and my physical condition, and vice versa. I need to understand her. So this year we're going to do some sorting practice, we hope, here at Shadrack Farms and maybe elsewhere. I hope to be able to ride Eve in a side saddle or any saddle or no saddle. I just hope to be able to be mutually confident with Eve and have mutual respect for each other so we can do these ranch horse versatility tasks. So very briefly, you see Eve, watch her body language, she's listening to me, her ears are back, but I'm not seeing the bulgy-eyed thing that I saw yesterday when she knew she was on the creek bank. So now I'm going to look where I want to go using my side saddle, using for my right cue a dressage whip. Before I go in, Sarah, I'd like you to open it, and you go in and see what happens when you bring the heifers closer.
Do you want me to open it?
Not completely, no. Now, Sarah is not opening it so that I can go through yet. She is bringing the heifers closer. It's all right, Eve. Good girl. And Shalea, can you take the video of the heifers coming close? Good girl, Eve. Good. That's good, Sarah. Good. Good. Okay, that's good. Let's wait now. Okay, let me in. I'm going to go towards the camera and explain what I noticed about Eve just then. Don't chain it when you close it, just close it. And let's be careful that the heifers don't come up on my back and scare her. Whoop. That was real interesting. Eve was more concerned about the blue flag than she was about the cows, which gives me confidence that she's not going to spook by them, even if they start running around. I'm still feeling quite comfortable in the side saddle right now. I've got as much weight as I can have on my butt, on my right sits bone, because that's what you need to do when you're riding a side saddle, because remember, there's no leg straddling the saddle on this side. And I've got this very lightweight, easy to use dressage whip, which is long. If I need to cue Eve with it, I can reach from her head to her tail with it without turning my torso or my shoulders. I want to stay centered. I want to stay balanced. And then I want to be able to ask Eve to be confident to walk into the cow space, eventually to sort them apart and get one of them to that side, keeping one of them here. That would be our kind of interim success objective. So I'm asking Eve to back up. I am using a yacht rope reins and a snaffle bit, but with each session, back, back, I hope to get lighter and not use a bridle at all. Back, good. Now if the heifers come up behind me, she might spook. I don't blame her if she does. She's good over her haunches. I'm asking her to look. Okay, now Sarah's gonna walk with me. It's all right, girl. Whoa, whoa. Try to get them to move to the left. Sarah, walk behind them. You go behind their cinch area. They should go forward. Good, good. I'm going to ask you to go over her haunches. Good, good. Ooh. Good, let's keep going. I'm going to ask Eve to parallel. Whoa, now they're likely to turn. I'm going to stay behind and you try to get them to go in front of us.
This is good. They're doing what we do for pairs.
Oop, good. I'm trying to keep the heifers in front of her so she doesn't get spooked by having them run around behind her. Eve is real good over her haunches. She just did a few haunches turns for me. Look at her. She's listening. She's watching. Back. Look over her ears. Ask for back. The heifers are picking up over her haunches. Whoa. Try to go the other direction. Eve is getting a little excited. Good, good. Try to go towards the camera along the fences. Whoop, whoop, back, back, back. I'm going to stay here until they're past me. Over the haunches. Good, good. Good. Oh. Now let's try to get them to go along the fence to our right. I'm trying to stay soft and centered. Good, good. Over the haunches. Yeah. All right. Good. Good enough. Open the gate and let them go out. I'm going to go back and explain that we accomplished what we wanted to accomplish. Eve was so good. She very lightly went over her haunches. She watched those heifers. They picked up some speed. She didn't get spooky. I can feel it. Most riders can feel it if your horse is getting resistant and stiff. But Eve was staying attentive. She wanted to know what I wanted her to do, and she listened to my very light cues that I used with my left leg, with my dressage whip, and you know what? With my body and my eyes, because I looked where I wanted to go, and she really feels that. She tries to please. She tries to follow the cue by listening to the rider's body and direction. and the heifers couldn't have been more perfect. We do have Rusty out and about here in the arena. I was afraid he would come up and start roaring, but luckily he didn't this time. We have a way to keep him away from the arena fence if we want to, and yet he can be close enough to his heifers to not get upset. So as we get more and more advanced in this cattle sorting task, this practice, this separating, this following, this pushing, we might ask Rusty to stay at the other gate. But for today, everything was perfect. I'm feeling confident. I'm glad that I didn't try to do this in the smaller space last time, the last session, the end of last show, because I didn't feel confident. And that extra 10 minutes there of doing just tiny baby steps gave me the confidence that Eve would try to understand what I'm asking her to do in light of the heifers being there, and that was kind of unusual because we haven't done cow work in quite a while. But this year we're going to do a whole lot of it. And that's all for today. Sonia Soklow, the Urban Cowgirl. Our next session with the heifers in my arena, the east half of my arena. Right now we're standing on the west half. The half being delineated by some portable panels that are on wheels that are easy to pull away from the perimeter fence. Now we have a helper today, Sam, who's going to help just in case there's any trouble. We want to do a little bit of fancy footwork today. I'm going to be the turnback on Sadie, who's Eve's daughter. You see that I'm in a traditional Western saddle today. I don't want to tax my legs by doing too much leg pressure. I'm going to try to use body language, verbal language, look where I want to go kind of thing. And just in case there's any trouble, Sam's going to be there as a join up and maybe even put the lead line on. Because remember, I am still dealing with the recuperation from a hip replacement and a little bit of leg pain on a daily basis if I don't be really careful what I do with my legs that are still getting strong on their own. Sarah's on Semi. The last time she worked with Semi and the heifers was in our smaller corral or corridor on the east fence, and Semi was really into it. Sarah said, you know, the space is a little bit too tight for Sam. So I said, okay, we'll do a whole show here in the arena, and that's what we're doing now. Last time I rode a side saddle with Eve, and she was just fine. Today, we're just going to go in for a few minutes and see what Semi and Sadie do with Susie and her daughter, Sela, my miniature Zebu cattle. And just in case we want to get the cows to move and not use the horses for any reason, Sam has a lunge whip in her hand as an arm extension. Not as a whip, but just as an arm extension. Okay, so I'm going to back up, looking over her ear. She's listening to me. Back. Trying not to use reins. We're going to use as much other cues as possible than the reins. And then you're going to open. A little bit hard. I want them to be soft. I told Sam to be careful to open enough. That's enough. Okay. So I'm going through, looking where I'm going, so Sadie knows that I want her to go paw or left. I'm getting close to the camera so you can hear me. We don't have mics on today. And Semi's in. Okay, now, first we're just going to see if Semi can guide the cattle around the perimeter fencing. And I'm going to just try to stay out of the way and let Sadie watch. If it looks like we can do it, today or another day, we'll open up those panels and see if Semi can sort the cattle. Get one of them through to the other side. Okay, now I'm going to let Sadie watch. You see, she was trying to watch. It's all right. What will Sadie do if the cows come at her? She's had some experience with them in the past, but it's been a while. Good. Let's keep them slow. Now, as they come around, Semi's pushing them. I'm going to turn Sadie so she can watch. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. They're getting excited. Okay. Now rather than going both directions like we did with Eve, I would say this. If you can get one of them, Sarah, over here, close to Sam, if it looks like you can sort one of them through the opening, Sarah will open the opening. And if I, as a turnback, feel that I need to put Sadie in position to keep the other one from going through, I'll try to do it, all within parameters of safety. We do have snaffle bits on the horses today. We hope that this year, 2013, by the time the winter starts to threaten us with bad weather, we'll be using neck ropes, neck rings to tell our horses what to do, not reins and bits in their mouth. Okay, Sarah, you choose whichever heifer you think would be best. They're going to want to stick together. That's the herd nature, of course. Yeah, Sammy's getting excited. I want to go around. I don't want Sadie to be spooked. Yeah, it's going to be a hard job, isn't it? You really need to be in position. I'm going to show Sadie that. Okay, here goes Sammy. Okay, let's slow down, slow down. We are going a little faster than I wanted to go this first time in the arena here. We may just say, okay, let's see if we can rate the cows, push them, move them, and maybe not sort them. I'm taking this one baby step at a time. Sarah, can you come over here and tell us what you're feeling? Because the rider of a horse can sometimes feel things that none of us can see from a distance.
Well, when Sela was running up this side of the portable panels, Simi was basically working her on her own. I didn't do anything. She picked up the canter and followed her. But then when Sela ended up in the corner over here, Simi kind of lost a little bit, and I wasn't able to back her up to follow Sela.
Okay, but you mean lost her focus? Stopped listening to you?
Yeah, she wasn't going along parallel with her.
What do you think she was trying to do? Because we need to know what the horses are thinking as best we can to know how we can help them to do what we're asking them to do.
She just wasn't working off her haunches and her hindquarters. That's what we need to make sure.
Yes, we work on haunches all the time with our mechanical cow simulators, and this is still actually officially winter, so we haven't done a lot of work with our mechanical cow simulators yet. But, okay, we need to do a little bit more work on it. Now, what do I mean by over the haunches? I'm going to back up. Whoa. There you go. Over the haunches. Not a U-turn, not a small railroad track circle, but get the angle different by using the haunches and the legs in the back stationary and the legs in the front moving around. Whoa. All right, let's try one more time. We're going to try one more time to get one of them over here. Now, if they will just settle down, if you see one of them hanging around here, you're going to move out of the way and open the gate. Demi's excited. She's biting in her bit.
Want me to go ahead and open it?
Not yet. Can't open it yet. Okay, go ahead and open it. Let's see if she'll choose to go through the opening. Not too far open. Okay. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Yes.
Close it up.
Yes. Close it up. Now, had Susie, the mother, come over here and tried to go through the opening too with Sela, her daughter, my job as the turnback horse would have been to close the door, not let her go through, because we need to do it one at a time and in the right order. And we made a decision to let Sela go through, so if Susie had tried to come, we would have had to have kept her from going through. Now what if there were 6, 8, 10 cattle here? Well, usually a two-man team is assigned to move all of them in the right order, because they all have numbers on them, through the opening to the other side, whatever the other side is, in the correct order. For example, the announcer will say 3. 3 is your starting number. Then the sorting team has to find 3 in the herd, pull 3 out with their horses, and get 3 to the opening between the 2 sides of the arena. Whatever it is, usually at sortings, they use portable panels to make 2 pens, about the size as my 2 half arenas here. So we have the ability to work with a very, very green horse in a very, very small place on the East Corridor. And then as they get better, as they get more confident, we have the ability to very easily come here and use my arena, which is a medium-sized arena, in a bigger place. So we're going to continue to practice sorting here at Shadrach Farms. And that's all for today. Sonia Sokolow, the Urban Cowgirl. Here's a postscript. We're only dealing with 2 heifers here, but we know their personalities. We know that Susie, the mother, is not going to move as fast and as vehemently as Sela. Sela was easy to get to the opening. So next time, we're going to see if we can have them both here. Move Susie to the opening. Then, if I can do it safely, my job will be to keep Sela from trying to follow her mother into the other half of the sorting arena. Sarah's going to go in with Sadie. I'm going to try to put myself in the good position to stop the other one. Good, good. No, you're going to move Susie if you can.
Okay.
I'm going to see, can I stop Sela? Can I just stop her from going? It's all right, without anybody getting upset.
Oh.
Good. We absolutely did it. Whoa.
Easy.
But I want Eve to be
girl.
light. I'm going to ask for her back. Go get the other one.
Put them in together?
Yeah, as long as you do it in the right order. The objective is to get all 10 cattle, or however many you're sorting with, on the other side, one at a time. And you see their tendency is to go together. Whoa. And you know what? We just did it. Let's let them go back to the side. We'll close up the panels. We'll stay on the other side where we can comfortably,
Easy.
where we can comfortably unsaddle without Bull Rusty roaring too close to us.
Back.
And we'll call it our moment of resolution today. So watch how Sadie is doing some maneuvering. Good, very good. There comes Susie. She can run. Mommy Susie doesn't run too often, but she just did. And she's the one, by the way, who has a poopy butt. So she's the one that's an estrus.
Easy. Back.
That's causing Rusty to be very bullish. Whoa.
Back. Back.
I'm staying out of the way so that the door is open. Ah. She doesn't quite see the opening. We have to make sure we stay away.
Back.
You got it.
Easy.
See, that's
Good
what you
girl.
have to do in sorting. Sometimes it's slow, fancy footwork. Sometimes it's very fast. Sometimes a walk or a trot will close the door on the cow who's trying to go in the direction you don't want it to go. Sometimes you have to run to catch up with the cow. But I'll tell you this, almost every time you have to work over your haunches rather than do railroad track circles, because you can't keep up with a cow unless you can get, let's see if Eve will do it, back over her ears. That kind of a turn. And I'm going to go back again, back. Whoa, whoa. And looking over her ears, back, back, back. I'm not squeezing with my legs, I'm just pulling them out. Good. You do the same thing with Sadie.
Okay.
It's almost like every time you do it,
Back.
you should remind them that there. Very good. Are you getting it, Scott? Good.
Back. Back. Back.
Ah, she just did a bottle top. She moved the back legs instead of pivoting over. And she threw her head up. So let's just finish this session with a little bit of exercising that we need to do to get better. at ultimately what we want to do, which is sorting cattle.
Hoop. Back. Back. Back.
But she, you know what? She didn't pivot. She just stepped over.
I know.
You disengage the hind end, which is a good maneuver if you've got a horse that's
Hoop.
about to buck or
Back.
rear or bolt.
Back.
Still bottle topping. Eve is real good at it. She even did it for me when we were trying to do some dressage
Back.
movements.
Back.
Nice, nice, better, better.
Well, she's still not turning over her haunches.
No,
That was
right.
forehand.
And Sarah, for the sake of the camera, and to remind us, we watched a special program by Ken McNabb where he was teaching one of his apprentices
Back.
how to do that, how to get that pivot. That's better. She did pick up her back feet, but she didn't pivot. And we said, we're going to try that,
Back.
especially
Back.
with Sadie, who needs more work on it.
No, she's not doing it now.
Yeah. Do you remember what he said to do at the fence, Sarah?
That was to get them to turn.
He
That
had
was
an
to get them to
exercise that
pivot.
would help you move the body parts of the horse at the fence. Kind of zoom in on legs here, Scott, so we can make sure it's obvious what Sadie is and isn't doing, and we'll keep working with her.
Good girl.
Remember, Sadie's my youngster, has the least amount of cow work practice behind her. Just even one bottle
Good
topping. Now, what do I mean by bottle topping? It's just a term that says, okay, they're going around their haunches, but they're not pivoting over one or the other leg. Still not. Can you tell when she doesn't? Nope. She's disengaging her hind end. She's not pivoting. Well, you can see we have something to work on.
Good girl.
Sub-objectives toward the ultimate goal. We want to have good cattle sorting horses. That's all for today. We hope to show you improvement, especially with Sadie. Evie is really good. Now let me show you Evie again. Look. Whoa. With my body, I stay in the center of the saddle so she doesn't go forward. Look where I want to go.
Hope.
Whoa.
Back. Back.
Yeah. And eventually, no reins, no bit. Just a side pull or maybe even just a neck ring. And this is my homemade neck ring of soft rope, which we ultimately want to be the major cue for what we want her to do with her front end instead of using reins.
Good.
Better, very good. That's perfect. I don't know if the camera saw it, but that's our note of resolution today.
See more at www.urbancowgirlchannel.com.